I still remember the day my parents told me, "You're getting married next month." I thought they were joking. I laughed, nervously. But they didn't laugh back. My heart dropped. Because they had no idea. I was already in love. Not with the man they chose for me. But with her. The girl they would never accept. The girl I wasn't even supposed to love. We were a secret. Hidden behind fake smiles, family dinners, and lies I told every single day. And now, I was being forced into a life that would destroy both of us. I had two choices. Break my parents' hearts. Or break my own. But what they didn't know was, I had already made my decision. I grew up in a house where love was never really a choice. It was an expectation. A responsibility. A duty. My parents always believed they knew what was best for me. What I should wear, who I should talk to, how I should behave. And eventually, who I should marry. I was the perfect daughter. The one who never argued. The one who always said yes, even when my heart was screaming no. But everything changed the day she walked into my life. Her name was Isla. She wasn't supposed to matter. She was just a new student who transferred to my college in the middle of the semester. I still remember the first time I saw her. She walked into class late, slightly out of breath, her hair a little messy like she didn't care what anyone thought. And somehow, that confidence, that freedom, it pulled me in. She looked around the room, her eyes scanning every face, until they landed on me. And for a second, everything felt quiet. I quickly looked away, pretending to focus on my notebook, but my heart wouldn't calm down. I didn't understand it back then. I told myself it was nothing. Just curiosity. Just distraction. But then, she sat next to me. "Hey," she whispered, smiling like we already knew each other. "Can I borrow your notes? I'm already lost." Her voice was soft, but confident. I hesitated for a second, then nodded. "Yeah, sure." That was it. That was how it started. Something so small. So simple. But somehow, it became everything. Days turned into weeks, and Isla slowly became a part of my life. We started studying together after class. Then grabbing coffee. Then walking home together, even when our routes were completely different. With her, I felt something I had never felt before. Freedom. Like I could finally breathe. Like I didn't have to be the perfect daughter anymore. I could just be me. She would laugh loudly in public without caring who stared. She would say exactly what she felt without filtering it. And somehow, she made me want to do the same. One evening, we were sitting on a quiet bench near the campus. The sky was turning orange, the sun slowly disappearing behind the buildings. She looked at me and said, "You know, you're different with me." I felt my chest tighten. "What do you mean?" She smiled softly. "You're real." I didn't know what to say. No one had ever said that to me before. Because the truth was, I didn't even know who the real me was. But somehow, she did. That night, I couldn't sleep. Her words kept replaying in my head. "You're real." And for the first time in my life, I started questioning everything. My choices. My life. My future. Was I really living for myself, or just following a path that was already decided for me? Things changed after that. Not suddenly. Not dramatically. But slowly, quietly, dangerously. We started getting closer. Closer than we should have. Our conversations became deeper, more personal. She told me about her past, her struggles, how she left her home because she refused to live by rules that suffocated her. And I told her things I had never told anyone. About the pressure, the expectations, the fear of disappointing my parents. She listened. Really listened. And one day, she said something that shook me. "Why do you live your life for them?" I froze. "Because they're my parents." She shook her head gently. "That's not a reason to lose yourself." Her words hit me harder than anything ever had. Because deep down, I knew she was right. And then, that moment happened. The one I can never forget. We were studying at her place. It was late. The room was quiet. Too quiet. I was reading something, but I couldn't focus. I could feel her eyes on me. When I looked up, she didn't look away. She just stared at me. Softly. Intensely. My heart started racing. "Isla," I whispered. But I didn't know what I was going to say. She moved closer. Slowly. Carefully. Like she was giving me time to stop her. But I didn't. I couldn't. Because in that moment, everything inside me was telling me the truth I had been trying to ignore. I felt it. I knew it. I was in love with her. And before I could think, before I could stop myself, she leaned in, and our lips met. Everything changed after that. Everything. And deep down, I knew, there was no going back anymore. After that night, nothing between us was the same anymore. But at the same time, everything became more complicated. We didn't talk about the kiss right away. Not the next day. Not even the day after that. It was like, we were both scared. Scared that if we said it out loud, it would become too real. Too dangerous. The next time I saw Isla in class, my heart wouldn't stop racing. I couldn't even look at her properly. But she was completely calm. Like nothing had changed. Like she didn't feel the same storm inside her. And for a moment, that hurt. Did it mean nothing to her? Class ended. I quickly packed my bag, trying to leave before things got awkward. But as I walked past her, she grabbed my wrist. Gently. But firmly. "Hey," she said softly. I froze. "Are you just going to ignore me now?" I turned to face her, my heart pounding. "I'm not ignoring you." "Then look at me," she whispered. And I did. And just like that, everything came rushing back. That moment. That feeling. That kiss. "Say something," she said, her voice softer now. "I don't know what to say." She smiled slightly. "Then I'll say it." My breath caught. "That kiss." She paused, searching my eyes. It wasn't a mistake. My heart skipped. "And I don't regret it." Silence. Heavy. Loud. Terrifying. Because I felt the same way. But saying it, that meant accepting everything that came with it. "Isla," I whispered, my voice shaking, "this isn't easy. I know. My parents, my family, if they ever find out." "They won't," she cut in. Her confidence scared me. "Don't say that, you don't know them." She stepped closer. "I don't need to know them," she said softly. "I know you." That hit me deeper than it should have. Because she did. She knew the version of me I kept hidden from the world. "I'm scared," I admitted. For the first time. I didn't pretend. I didn't hide. And instead of judging me, she just nodded. I know you are. Then she reached for my hand. Slowly. Carefully. Giving me time to pull away. But I didn't. I let her hold it. And somehow, that felt even more intense than the kiss. We don't have to rush anything, she said. We can take it slow, figure it out together. Together. That word, it felt warm. Safe. Dangerous. And just like that, our secret began. At first, it was small things. Little moments no one noticed. Sitting a little too close. Brushing hands under the table. Late night texts that meant more than they should. Are you awake? I miss you. I wish you were here. Every message made my heart race. Every moment with her felt like something I wasn't supposed to have. And maybe that's why it felt so special. But secrets don't stay hidden forever. And we learned that the hard way. One afternoon, we were at a cafe near campus. A quiet place where no one really knew us. Or at least, that's what we thought. We were laughing about something stupid, her hand resting on mine. I didn't even notice how natural it had become. How comfortable. How normal it felt. Until I saw someone across the room, watching us. My heart dropped instantly. It was one of my cousin's friends. Not close, but close enough. Close enough to recognize me. Close enough to talk. Close enough to ruin everything. I quickly pulled my hand away. Isla noticed immediately. What happened? She asked, confused. Don't look, just listen, I whispered, panic rising in my chest. There's someone here. I know him. Her expression changed. From calm to alert. Okay, what do we do? I don't know. My mind was racing. If he saw us like that, if he told my family, it wouldn't just be questions. It would be chaos. Act normal, Isla said quietly. Normal? What even was normal anymore? We sat there, pretending. Talking about random things. Avoiding eye contact. Trying not to look suspicious. But I could feel it. His eyes. Still on us. I think we should leave, I whispered. She nodded. We stood up, and walked out calmly. Too calmly. Like we were forcing ourselves not to run. The moment we stepped outside, I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. That was too close. I said. Yeah, she replied, but her voice wasn't calm anymore. It was serious. Heavy. This is real, she said. What we're doing, it's not just feelings anymore. I swallowed hard. I know. No, she shook her head slightly, looking straight at me, I don't think you do. Her words stung. What do you mean? It means, one mistake. One wrong person finding out. And you could lose everything. Everything. My family. My life. My future. I looked at her, my heart torn between fear, and something stronger. Something deeper. And what about you? I asked softly. She didn't hesitate. I already chose you. That moment, it changed something inside me. Because I realized, I wasn't the only one risking everything. She was too. And for the first time, I asked myself a question I had been avoiding: how far am I willing to go, for her? After that day at the cafe, something shifted between us. The fear was still there. The risk, even bigger now. But instead of pulling us apart, it brought us closer. It was like we both understood something without saying it out loud. This wasn't just a phase anymore. This wasn't confusion. This was real. Isla stopped holding back. And slowly, so did I. We started spending more time together. Not just after college, but whenever we could. She became my escape. From the pressure. From the expectations. From the life I was supposed to live. With her, I didn't feel trapped anymore. I felt free. One night, I told my parents I had a group study session. It wasn't a lie. Just, not the full truth. I went to her place. My heart was racing the entire way. Not from fear this time, but from anticipation. When she opened the door, she smiled. That soft, familiar smile that always made everything feel okay. "You're late," she teased. I rolled my eyes. "It's been 2 minutes. Still late." I stepped inside. And for a moment, everything outside that room stopped existing. "No one's home," she said casually. But the way she looked at me wasn't casual at all. My heart skipped. Again. Always her. We sat down, pretending to study. Books open. Pens in hand. But neither of us was actually focusing. "You're not even reading," she said, smirking. "Neither are you." "Because I'm distracted." Her tone changed. Softer. Deeper. I looked up. And there it was again. That look. The one that made my chest tighten, and my thoughts disappear. "Isla." I whispered. But I didn't finish. Because I didn't need to. She moved closer. Slowly. Like before. But this time, there was no hesitation. My breath got heavier. My hands, slightly shaking. But I didn't stop her. I didn't want to. Her fingers brushed against my arm, sending a rush through my entire body. Then she cupped my face gently, and pulled me in. This kiss wasn't like the first one. That one was confusion. This was certainty. It was deeper. Slower. More intense. Like we were both finally accepting what we had been denying. I felt everything. Her warmth. Her heartbeat. Her closeness. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel guilty. I didn't feel wrong. I just felt right. When we pulled away, we didn't move. Foreheads touching. Breathing the same air. "Say it," she whispered. My heart pounded. "Say what?" "What you're feeling." I hesitated. Because saying it meant everything would change. There would be no going back. But deep down, I already knew. My voice trembled. "I think I'm falling in love with you." Silence. Just for a second. But it felt like forever. Then she smiled. Not surprised. Not shocked. Just, sure. "Took you long enough," she whispered softly. And just like that, I fell completely. After that night, we weren't just a secret anymore. We were something real. Something deep. Something dangerous. We started depending on each other. Emotionally. Mentally. Even physically. If I didn't see her for a day, it felt wrong. Incomplete. If she didn't text me, I couldn't focus on anything else. She became my peace. My comfort. My safe place. And I became hers. But love like this, it doesn't stay hidden forever. It started small. Little things. Things I didn't even notice at first. My mom asking, "Why are you always on your phone?" My sister joking, "Who are you smiling at all the time?" My dad noticing, "You've been going out a lot lately." At first, I brushed it off. Made excuses. Laughed it away. But inside, I was starting to panic. Because they were noticing. Not everything. But enough. And then, one night at dinner, everything changed. We were all sitting together. Eating quietly. Normal. Too normal. My mom suddenly looked at me. A little too carefully. "Is there something you want to tell us?" My heart stopped. "What do you mean?" I tried to stay calm. She didn't look away. "You've been different lately." My dad put his fork down. Now he was paying attention too. "Different how?" I asked, forcing a small smile. She hesitated for a second, then said something that sent chills down my spine. "Like you're hiding something." Silence. Heavy. Dangerous. I felt my chest tighten. My hands getting cold. Because for the first time, it wasn't just fear anymore. It felt like I was about to be exposed. That night at dinner, I couldn't breathe properly. My mom's words kept echoing in my head, "Like you're hiding something." I forced a smile. Tried to act normal. "Mom, it's just college stress," I said lightly. "Exams are coming up." She didn't look convinced. But she nodded anyway. My dad picked his fork back up. "Focus on your studies," he said firmly. "Distractions at this age can ruin your future." Distractions. That word, it felt like a warning. I nodded. Quietly. "Yeah. I know." But inside, I felt like everything was slipping out of my control. That night, I texted Isla. "I think my family is starting to notice." She replied almost instantly. "How bad?" "I don't know, but it feels different now." There was a pause. Then her message came, "Do you want to stop?" My heart dropped. "No." I typed it without thinking. Without hesitation. Because even the idea of losing her, it hurt more than anything else. Her reply came slowly this time. "Then we need to be smarter." Smarter. More careful. More distant. And that's when things started to change. My parents became stricter. Not suddenly, but enough for me to feel it. "Be home early. Don't go out too much. Focus on your future." Simple words. But they built a cage around me. I had to lie more. Make excuses. Create fake stories just to see her. And every time I did, the guilt grew heavier. Not because of what I felt for her. But because of what I was hiding. Days passed, and seeing Isla became harder. We couldn't meet as often. We couldn't stay out late. We couldn't be as free as before. And slowly, that started affecting us. One evening, we finally met after almost a week. She was already there when I arrived. Sitting quietly. Different. "You're late," she said. But this time, she didn't smile. "I'm sorry, it was hard to get out," I explained, sitting next to her. She nodded. But she didn't look at me. Silence. Cold. Uncomfortable. "I missed you," I said softly. Still nothing. "Isla." She finally looked at me. But her eyes, they weren't soft anymore. "They're controlling your life," she said. They're my parents. And you're letting them decide everything. Her words hit hard. I'm trying, I said, my voice breaking slightly. You think this is easy for me? I didn't say it was easy, she replied. But it feels like I'm the only one fighting for us. That hurt. More than anything. That's not fair, I whispered. Isn't it, she said. Silence again. But this time, it was heavier. I risk everything every day, she continued. I chose you, remember? I looked down. Because I remembered. Every word. Every promise. But you. She added softly, you're still choosing them. That broke something inside me. I'm not choosing them over you, I said quietly. I don't know how to lose them. And I don't know how to lose you, she replied. We both fell silent. Because that was the truth. We were stuck. Between love, and everything that stood against it. That night, we didn't hug like before. We didn't stay longer. We didn't feel safe. Because for the first time, love didn't feel enough. And then, a few days later, something happened that changed everything. I came home from college. Tired. Mentally exhausted. My mom called me into the living room. Sit down, she said. Her tone was serious. Too serious. My dad was already there. My heart started racing again. What happened, I asked. They looked at each other. Then my mom spoke. We've been thinking about your future. My chest tightened. My dad continued, and we've made a decision. A decision. The room felt smaller. Heavier. And then, he said the words that destroyed everything, we've found a suitable match for you. My heart stopped. We've found a suitable match for you. Those words, they didn't just shock me. They shattered something inside me. I stared at them. Blank. Frozen. Like my mind refused to process what I had just heard. What? My voice barely came out. My mom smiled softly. Like this was good news. Like this was something I should be happy about. He's from a very respectable family, she said. Educated, well settled, everything we've ever wanted for you. Everything they wanted. I'm not ready for marriage, I said quickly, panic rising in my chest. My dad's expression hardened. You're at the right age. No. I mean, I want to focus on my studies first. This is your future, he interrupted. Future. The word felt suffocating. Because the future they were talking about, didn't have her in it. We've already spoken to his family, my mom added. My heart dropped. What do you mean, already? It's just a formal meeting now, she said calmly. You'll meet him this weekend. This weekend? Everything was happening too fast. Too suddenly. I don't want this, I said, my voice shaking. Silence. Heavy. Dangerous. My dad leaned forward slightly. This is not a question. And just like that, I understood. This wasn't a discussion. This wasn't a suggestion. This was a decision. Already made. Without me. I need some time. I whispered. You've had enough time, he replied coldly. I felt my chest tighten. My eyes burning. But I didn't cry. Not in front of them. I just nodded. Slowly. Quietly. Because I knew, there was nothing I could say in that moment that would change their minds. but inside I was breaking. That night, I locked my door. And the moment I was alone, I broke down. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. All I could see was her face. Isla. I grabbed my phone with shaking hands and called her. She picked up immediately. Hey, are you okay? I couldn't speak. Not at first. Hey, talk to me, her voice softened. They want me to get married. I finally said, my voice cracking. Silence. Complete silence. Then. What she whispered. They already chose someone. They want me to meet him this weekend. I heard her breathing change. Heavier. Sharper. They can't do that, she said. They already did. Another silence. But this one felt different. Darker. And what did you say? She asked. I said no. And. My voice broke again. They didn't listen. That was it. That was the moment everything became real. For both of us. So what now? She asked. I didn't have an answer. I don't know. You don't know? Her voice rose slightly. Isla, I'm trying. No, she cut me off. Trying isn't enough anymore. Her words hit hard. They're planning your life, and you're just standing there, she said. What do you want me to do? I finally snapped. Fight. She said. Silence. Because it sounded so simple when she said it. But it wasn't. You don't understand. I whispered. Then make me understand, she replied. I closed my eyes, tears slipping down my face. If I go against them, I lose everything, I said. And if you don't? She asked quietly. I didn't answer. Because we both knew. I lose you, I finally whispered. Silence again. And then, her voice changed. Softer. But more painful than before. Maybe, you already are. That broke me. No, don't say that. Then prove me wrong, she said. I felt my heart racing again. How? There was a pause. A long one. Like she was thinking, deciding, taking a risk. And then she said something that changed everything. Run away with me. My breath stopped. What? Leave with me, she said. We can go somewhere else, start over, just us. My mind went blank. Run away, leave everything behind, my family, my home, my entire life. I can't just. You can, she said firmly. You just don't want to. That's not true. Then what is? She asked. I didn't have an answer. Because deep down, she was right. I was scared. Not of loving her. But of losing everything else. And now, I had to choose. Run away with me. Those words didn't leave my mind. Not for a second. Run away. Leave everything behind. Choose her, or lose her. I didn't sleep that night. Not even for a moment. Every possible future kept playing in my head. One where I stayed, smiled at a stranger, lived a life that wasn't mine. And one where I left, with her. Into the unknown. Both scared me. But only one of them, felt like losing myself. The next morning, everything felt normal. Too normal. My mom was in the kitchen. My dad reading the newspaper. Like nothing had changed. Like my life hadn't just been decided for me. Be ready by 6 this evening, my mom said casually. My heart dropped. Why? We're going to meet them. Them. It was happening. Already. I thought it was this weekend. They're available today, she replied. No need to delay good things. Good things. I felt sick. I have plans, I said quickly. My dad looked up. Sharp. Cancel them. Just one word. But it carried everything. Authority. Finality. Control. I can't. You can, he said firmly. Silence. And just like that, I lost again. The whole day, I felt numb. I texted Isla. They moved the meeting to today. No reply. Minutes passed. Then an hour. Nothing. My anxiety grew. Faster. Heavier. Finally, her message came. Okay. That was it. Just one word. No emotion. No fight. No, don't go. And somehow, that hurt more than anything. Evening came too fast. I stood in front of the mirror. Dressed in something my mom picked. Something appropriate. Something that didn't feel like me. I looked at my reflection, and I didn't recognize the girl staring back. Perfect, my mom said from behind me, smiling. Perfect. I wanted to scream. The drive there was silent. Heavy. My hands were cold. My heart, racing non-stop. And all I could think about was her. Why didn't she say anything? Why didn't she stop me? Or maybe, she already had. And now it was my turn. We reached the house. Big. Elegant, everything my parents would approve of. Everything I didn't care about. Smile, my mom whispered. I forced one. Fake. We walked in. Greeted by polite faces. Polite smiles. Polite conversations. It all felt like a performance. And I was the main character, in a story I didn't choose. Then, he walked in. The guy. Tall. Well-dressed. Confident. On paper perfect. In my heart nothing. He smiled at me. I smiled back. Because I had to. We sat down. Talked. Or at least, they talked. Families discussing futures. Plans. Expectations. Like I wasn't even there. Then someone said, let them talk alone. My heart skipped. Before I could react, we were already standing. Walking into another room. Alone. Silence filled the space. He looked at me. Gently. You seem nervous, he said. I forced a small laugh. Just a little. I get it, he smiled. This is new for both of us. Us. That word felt wrong. I'll be honest, he continued, I agreed to this because I trust my family. I stayed quiet. And I'm hoping, we can make this work. Work. Like this was some kind of arrangement. I finally spoke. Slowly. Carefully. I'm not sure I'm ready for this. He paused. Surprised. That's okay, he said. These things take time. Time. I didn't have time. Because my heart, already belonged to someone else. And the more I sat there, the more I realized something terrifying. If I didn't do something soon, this would become my reality. Permanent. Unchangeable. And I would lose her. For real this time. That night, on the way home, my mom was smiling. They really liked you, she said. My dad nodded. This is a good match. I stared out the window. Silent. Because inside, I had already made a decision. A dangerous one. The moment I got home, I locked my door. And called her. She picked up after the first ring. Did you go? She asked. Yes. Silence. And I took a deep breath. My heart pounding. I can't do this. Another silence. But this one felt different. Alive. What does that mean? She asked. I closed my eyes. Tears forming again. It means. I whispered, I'm ready. I'm ready. The moment those words left my mouth, everything changed. On the other side of the phone, there was silence. But not the painful kind. Not the distant kind. This silence was full of hope. Are you serious? Isla whispered. Yes, I said, my voice shaking. But I'm scared. I know, she replied softly. But we'll do it together. Together. That word felt stronger now. More real than ever before. Tell me what to do, I said. And just like that, we started planning. It didn't feel real at first. Running away, leaving everything behind, it sounded like something from a movie. Not my life. But every detail we discussed made it real. Pack only what you need, she said. Nothing that will slow you down. Where will we go? I asked. I have a friend in another city, she replied. We can stay there for a while, figure things out. My heart raced. Do you trust them? I trust you, she said. And somehow, that was enough. Days started passing differently. Everything became a countdown. Every moment at home felt heavier. Every conversation with my parents felt like a lie. Because they were planning my wedding. Dates. Clothes. Guests. My mom showing me dresses, asking which one I liked. I nodded. Pretended. Smiled. While inside, I was planning my escape. At night, I would secretly pack small things. Clothes. Documents. Money I had saved. Hiding them carefully. So no one would notice. Every little sound made my heart jump. Every knock on my door felt like the end. But somehow, I kept going. Because now, I had something stronger than fear. A decision. Isla and I talked every night. Planning. Adjusting. Preparing. The wedding is in 5 days, I told her one night. Then we leave before that, she said. No. I hesitated. What? She asked. I took a deep breath. We leave on the wedding day. Silence. That's risky, she said. I know, but it's the only way. Why? Because that's the moment they'll least expect it. My voice trembled slightly. And I want them to understand. Understand what? That I'm not theirs to control. Another silence. Then. You've changed, she said softly. I smiled. For the first time in days. Maybe I finally became myself. But not everything was getting easier. The closer we got to the day, the harder it became to pretend. My mom noticed. You seem distant, she said one evening. I'm just tired. You should be happy, she replied. This is your wedding. Wedding. The word felt unreal. Because deep down, I knew, it would never happen. 3 days left. My dad sat next to me. You'll thank us one day, he said. I looked at him. really looked at him. And for a moment, I felt guilty. Because I knew, what I was about to do, would break them. But then, I thought about my life. My truth. My love. And I realized something, living a lie, would break me more. 2 days left. Everything was ready. My bag. My plan. My courage. Or at least, I hoped it was courage. The night before the wedding, I couldn't sleep, not from fear. Not from doubt. But from the weight of everything. This was it. No turning back. No second chances. Either I leave, or I lose her forever. At 2 a.m., my phone buzzed. A message from Isla, tomorrow changes everything. I stared at it. Heart racing. Then replied, yes, it does. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. By this time tomorrow, I would either be free, or completely broken. The wedding day arrived. Everything was perfect. Or at least, perfect for them. The house smelled of flowers. Soft music played in the background. Everyone was smiling. Except me. I felt like a ghost in my own life. Dressed in the gown my mother chose, sitting in a room filled with whispers and laughter, I felt trapped. Every glance from my parents felt like a cage closing in. And all I could think about was her. The plan was set. The moment my parents turned their attention elsewhere, I would slip away. But as the hours passed, doubt crept in. What if something went wrong? What if I got caught? What if she wasn't there on time? My hands shook. My heart raced. Alya had told me, stay calm. I'll be there. Trust me. But trusting wasn't enough anymore. The ceremony began. Family gathered. Smiles everywhere. The room buzzing with excitement. And there I was, walking down the hall, feeling like I was walking to my own prison. My parents beamed. Friends whispered congratulations. And the stranger, the one I was supposed to marry, waited. I forced a smile. Nodded politely. Every step felt heavier. Every breath tighter. Then, the music paused for a moment. I saw movement at the edge of my vision. Her. Isla. She was at the back. Watching. Waiting. My heart leaped. Our eyes met. A silent promise passed between us. Now or never. I continued the ceremony. Fake smiles. Polite words. But my mind was somewhere else. Somewhere safe. Somewhere with her. Finally, the officiant spoke. Do you take? I froze. The words burned in my ears. My chance was coming. Her hand reached for mine, slightly hidden. A small signal. The cue. My heart thumped so hard I thought they'd hear it. As I whispered, I'm ready. I saw her nod. The moment had arrived. I slipped my hand from the stranger's. And just like that, I ran. Through the hall. Past shocked faces. Past screams and confusion. My parents shouted my name. Guests were chasing. But Isla was there. She grabbed my hand. Held it tight. And together, we ran. Out the back door. Into the car waiting. Into freedom. For the first time, I breathed again. We didn't look back. Because this was ours. Our love. Our life. Our choice. But even as we drove away, the danger hadn't passed. We had escaped, but now the real journey began. The city lights blurred past the car window. My heart was racing. Every second felt like a heartbeat away from disaster. Isla held my hand tightly. Her thumb brushed mine calm, steady. "Are you okay?" she whispered. I nodded. But the truth, I was terrified. Because this wasn't over. My parents could call the police. They could track us. They could stop us. Every intersection, every red light, my mind ran through escape routes. But Isla was calm. Focused. "We're almost there," she said softly. "Just a little longer." Her confidence, it gave me courage. I turned to look at her. Her eyes bright, determined, fierce. She was ready to face anything, as long as we were together. I swallowed hard. "I love you," I whispered. She smiled. A small, fierce smile. "Show me," she said. And I did. I grabbed her hand tighter. Held her close. Let her feel my heart beating for her alone. Minutes felt like hours. Every noise outside made me jump. Then, a car followed us. My blood ran cold. "They're following!" I shouted. Isla didn't panic. "Stay calm. Turn here," she said, pointing to a side street. We swerved sharply. Hoping the driver wouldn't see us. My chest was pounding. I couldn't breathe. But I kept going. For the first time in days, I felt alive. Hours later, we reached a small, hidden apartment. Isla's friend had set it up for us. It was safe. Quiet. Finally, ours. We collapsed onto the couch. Exhausted. Shaken. Relieved. We didn't speak at first. Just held each other. Feeling the warmth, the life, the freedom. "This is real," I finally whispered. "Yes," she said, brushing hair from my face. "We did it. We're free." I closed my eyes. Tears slipping down my cheeks. "Forever?" I asked. She nodded. Forever. For the first time, love wasn't dangerous. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't forbidden. It was ours. And in that moment, everything felt right. The past, the fear, the danger, all of it faded. Because now, we had each other. And nothing could take that away. The days after our escape were quiet, almost unreal. No schedules. No rules. No one telling us what to do. We woke up together. Cooked together. Talked, and laughed, like the world outside didn't exist. Every glance from her made my heart skip. Every touch reminded me why I had risked everything. We still had challenges. We weren't rich. We didn't have family support. And the future was uncertain. But none of that mattered. Because we had each other. One evening, I sat by the window. Watching the city lights shimmer. Isla came up behind me, wrapped her arms around my waist. Rested her chin on my shoulder. "Do you regret it?" she asked softly. I shook my head. "Not for a second." She smiled. A smile that lit up everything. A smile that made the world right again. "We're free," she whispered. "Yes," I said. "Finally, free." We held each other close. The kind of embrace that heals every scar. The past, the fear, the danger, all of it was behind us now. And in that quiet apartment, with the soft hum of the city around us, I realized something: love, real love, was worth every risk. Worth every fear. Every lie. Every stolen moment. Because in the end, freedom wasn't just about escaping them. It was about finding ourselves. And each other. We didn't know what tomorrow would bring. We didn't know where life would take us. But for the first time in my life, I didn't care. Because we had love. We had courage. We had each other. And that was enough. The future was ours. And we would face it together. Heavy black heart. The end, for now.